Julius, when did you first realize that you had a talent for making content that goes viral?
I initially started when I was working in Denmark for this very odd sports company that was trying to get people from TikTok onto their own personalized app, and I had to create some content for them completely for free. That's how a lot of people start. And then I got their first video to hit 1 million views, and it was like one of the first videos that I made for them and for myself as well. And I was just like, oh, this is
Amazing.
maybe
Yeah.
something I have a knack for, and then I
Yeah.
just kind of kept doing it ever since.
What was the video?
It was very stupid. It was a video of me and a attractive woman, which is like, if you're gonna ask me about the secrets for going viral, that always helps. But it was me and an attractive woman, and we're talking about football, and everybody thought I was an American, and I didn't know anything about football, so they thought it was very fun to rip into me, and that ended up getting like 1 million views.
So that's the first one that went viral.
That was the first one that I was involved in, yeah, that went viral.
What do you think made that go viral? Was there something you could sort of pinpoint it to?
There's a bunch of factors, like it's interesting. There's like a narrative component. There's money as well. That's another secret for going viral. If you want to really if you want like a really easy way to kind of get really good results in organic views, beautiful women and money is like the easy shortcut.
Yeah.
But for the one that I did for these guys, the sports app, that was one where we posted it, we didn't think anything of it. And then you look back on it and you see all these small nuances that kind of really aided in the performance of that.
Sure.
Not to go too much into it, but there's some stuff that was said in the very, very beginning, like the first 3 seconds of the content, that really helped contribute to grabbing people's attention. And then obviously, like, as soon as they heard that I had an American sounding accent, then that kind of led into more intrigue, and then they watched the whole thing, and then that kind of boosted the algorithm as well. And all these things kind of came together to get some good organic reach for sure.
Are the first 3 seconds like the most important bit of every single video?
But they're important, but they're not everything, right? I mean, there's like 3 things that I would say are absolutely crucial for, at least for short form videos, right? It's like 3 things that are absolutely crucial for going viral, and that is having a really tight hook, having great pacing throughout the video, and then also the most important thing is just having an interesting video to begin with. Because if you don't have an interesting video, like, nobody's gonna watch, you know? And it's also like, I do a lot of content for clients of like high net worth individuals, and they're always talking about the algorithm and like, how do we, trick the algorithm into making us go viral? And it's like, it usually has very little to do with it. It has something, but it's like, you want tight hook, good pacing, and just interesting content that people really want to watch, that people gravitate towards. And when it comes to hook specifically, the general rule of thumb is like, you want to grab people's attention, but you also want to communicate everything they need to know about the video in the first 3 seconds. Like, they need to be able to stop after watching 3 seconds of the video and know exactly, well, pretty much what's going to happen. You can have a surprise somewhere, but there needs to be no confusion about what the content is that they're watching.
So almost like the title of something like, here's how I sold this jet or something in the first 3 seconds. Is that
Exactly?
what you mean?
Or yeah, if you're talking about Steve specifically, it would be something like, I'm standing in front of this $20 million private helicopter, which is something we did a while ago. And so like, immediately you hear a big number, you hear money, that releases a little bit of dopamine in the head. So you're kind of intrigued. And he talks maybe about like what makes it so special and stuff like this. So it's like, you grab people's attention by, in some instances, money, beautiful women. Like, I'm telling you, like, those are the go-to. They work every goddamn time. And then you also communicate exactly what it is that, the video is about, essentially.
What do you mean by good pacing as such? So for someone who doesn't know anything about video, and I'm looking to create a viral video, what would good pacing look like?
Good pacing, I mean, so if I were to do it for a client, I would cut out pretty much anything that's not, either interesting or very relevant to the story. But essentially what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically consistently release dopamine in the brain for the person that's watching, right? And so if you have a longer video, you want to cut out anything that doesn't accomplish that goal explicitly. So if you have like pauses or minute little areas where they're saying ums and ahs, we would cut all of those out. And if there's something that's not explicitly interesting or relevant, we would cut that out as well. Essentially, you're trying to not give them the time to recognize that they're watching a video. You really want to suck them in. Uh,
Okay.
because if they realize that they're on their phones and they're watching, TikToks or something, they're going to become uncomfortable and they're going to keep scrolling because everybody is on there for distraction. And so the most effective content that does that is going to perform the best.
Okay. Interesting. So building on that, is there like a specific length of video that works best? You said you don't want people to realize they're on their phones watching this. Is it like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute?
Well, the funny thing is, like, because I do ads for clients as well, and like a place like Instagram will tell you 15 seconds is like the sweet spot.
Okay. Very short.
That's
Yeah.
very short, very short. But there's not really any concrete data or any concrete like time or length that's like this is the optimal length. For example, with Steve, like one of his best performing videos is one where he is talking to Iman Gatsi, and like that's a very long video. I think it's like 5 minutes or something crazy, and that's on TikTok. And that's one of his best performing videos. I could be wrong. Maybe I've gotten the time wrong a little bit, but if I'm correct, I think that video has like 30 million views.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's still like it's a really long video, but that's where
That's mega
pacing.
viral. Yeah.
That's mega viral for sure. But that's where pacing comes in as well, right?
Yeah.
That's like,
Okay.
it's the pacing is interesting throughout. And by the way, pacing does not mean fast. Like
Yeah.
it does not mean everything needs to be super quick and everything, because that can be distracting in and of itself or stressful for a viewer. It
Yeah.
just means that you're constantly releasing just a little bit of dopamine throughout the whole thing, constantly holding on to people's attention, cutting out things that are not relevant or not interesting.
Yeah. So there's a lot of psychology to it almost.
Well, I mean, most of it just kind of becomes, instinct. Like because I've done a lot of this stuff for a host of different people. It's not just been Steve. But when you do it, you kind of know what to look for after a certain period of time, for sure. So it's like if anybody's who's watching this is looking to kind of figure out like how do I create viral videos and stuff, I would say my advice would personally be like just make videos, just keep trying to like produce content, and then slowly iterate on that and figure out what's performing well for you or the people that you're creating content with. Don't try to figure out everything out right in the beginning because it's impossible. Just
Yeah.
produce content, learn, and eventually you'll start getting results. And it can take a while, but that's generally how it works for most people.
Yeah,
Sure.
we sort of touched upon it there, but tell us a bit about the clients you've worked with and who stands out and why.
Sure. So I've worked with Steve Versano. He's probably the most notable. But I've worked for a host of other people. Like I've worked for a plastic surgeon called Dr. Yanis. I managed to get him 20 million views on TikTok basically from scratch. I'm pretty happy about that. Worked with a woman called Noor from Celine Interiors as well. Produced several videos for her that have gotten really good results. And then I've worked for brands like Aspinall, Violante Nessi was another designer. JetX, I believe I've done work for them way back in the day. And obviously the sports company that I worked for, which was called Inch by Inch, they've since gone out of business, but those were some people that I worked for. And now currently I'm working for brands here in the UK as well, just helping them promote their business essentially primarily through ads.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like it's much easier to get the specific results that people want in that particular area.
Yeah,
Sure.
how do you go about landing these clients?
I was working with these guys through an agency, and they were kind of giving me the clients. And then I was in charge of kind of working with them and getting the results. And now it's a lot more, however you want to say, like working more on a freelance basis through a variety of different people. But yeah, if you ask, like most people get started through some sort of agency as well.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, when a
Yeah.
client comes to you, are they just like, I want 1 million views? Is that what they say? Or is it a bit more sort of like, what is that? What do they say? What are your what's your structure?
So I mean, the agency that I work with, they would go around and be like, "Hey, we can have all these guys who can get you 1 million views," and then you're basically just been like, "Okay, well, I guess I have to just do it. Then I guess I have
Yeah.
to just get a million views." And the
Yeah.
time frame would usually be around 3 months. Like if you produce 15 pieces of content and you post every other day for 3 months, and again, the videos need to be interesting, that eventually
Yeah.
the odds that you'll get something that performs really, really well, a million plus is pretty likely to occur within that time period.
Okay.
But whether or not they're explicitly wanting a million views, I mean, it depends from client to client, right? Like they want something that's an alternative to the ad side of campaigns. They want something that's a little bit more uh, authentic, typically. And it's like with organic content, you can build an audience. With ads, it's a little bit more difficult to do
Sure.
that, and it's
Y-
also usually
Yeah.
personal branding and all this other stuff as well. That kind of
Yeah.
plays more of a part into the organic side.
You mentioned there how regularly you're posting. Is that a really important thing as well? Like you got to be posting every single day, trying to get as much. Like, does the algorithm support people who post regularly?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like if you don't post, it depends on the platform, right? So like the video that you saw of me on TikTok, that was just
Yeah.
a video that I posted on like a Tuesday or something. And I had
Yeah.
like 3 other videos. So Instagram is a little bit of a unique case. But I would say for platforms like Instagram, YouTube, I mean, even kind of Facebook to an extent, they're more focused on like you've already built an audience, and then you kind of build on that audience continuously, and then you build views alongside that as well.
Yeah.
It's not a hard rule. There are exceptions, of course, but from my experience producing content for a variety of clients over many years, that's been my experience.
Interesting. Okay. So how important is luck in this process? We've had people on in the past and they said, "Oh, it's all luck, really." I mean, is there a lot of luck involved?
Uh, uh, yes, and well, yes and no, I would say. Like
Okay.
luck definitely plays a part, but that's where consistency comes in, right? Like if you're producing interesting videos consistently, then luck plays less and less of a factor. Like if you're producing high quality videos that are really, really interesting for an audience, and you're doing that every other day, then eventually that luck will kick in and you'll have, content that performs. And again, like if you're producing videos for TikTok, that, luck might play a part. Consistency might be as important, but there's things that you can do to kind of navigate that as well. Like if you have a video that you're really, really proud of and you're sure it will do well, and you post it and it doesn't do well, you could just take it down and post it again and take it down and post it again. Like there's no rules for that. And that's also that's what I did for that one video that you saw. And that's what I did for, I mean, Dr. Yanis as well, who's a good client. We had one video that did really well.
Yeah.
But we had taken that video down, posted it again, taken it down, posted it again. So that's something that works in the algorithm right now, at least on TikTok. I don't know if that's going to continue to be like that, but that's
Yeah.
one
Okay.
way to mitigate luck. So luck
Yeah.
plays a part, but there are things you can do to kind of work around that for sure.
Control. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with the videos you're posting on TikTok, are you aiming to build your own sort of freelance business from this? Is that the sort of goal, or are you just doing it for fun?
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because I've done so many fun things where you're like, and it's like I've recorded myself. Like with Steve, I've done like crazy things. Like flying a private helicopter with him. I flew in a private jet to like Austria with him for an
Wow.
award where he got like an award where he's like because of all the content that's been produced and all the results that he's gotten through that. And it's just I have videos of that. So it's like if you ask me whether or not I expect to get clients with that in the future, yeah. But I primarily do it because I really enjoy it and because I have the footage as well.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, just wary of the time. What would you tell sort of a small business owner who thinks their content isn't going viral? What sort of mistakes do you think it's likely that they're making?
I would look with the thing that I've been fortunate about with the people that I work with is the fact that they live relatively interesting lives, and I've been able to leverage that. If you're running a business, my advice would just be like, ask yourself, what is it about my particular business that's really interesting for me, and that could potentially be interesting for other people, and then create content around that. Don't create content around the thing that you want. Like businesses want to create content around ads. They want to create ads for organic, and they want those organic ads to do really well, and they never do. So don't create ads, just create interesting content. That would be my advice. And also look at other people who are maybe in a similar industry or create similar content to what you have in mind and just copy them. There is no copyright for ideas. So you can just go and you can
Yeah.
basically just take their ideas and just make it your own and add your own twist, of course, so that there's a little difference. But that would be my advice for business owners.
Sure. Okay. So you kind of mentioned a few of these, but say, what are some small things that someone could do to improve their chances of performing better online? You mentioned a few of them throughout, but just to sort of summarize.
Yeah, my advice is very, very simple. Tight hooks, good pacing, and an interesting premise that people want to watch. Tight hook, you got 3 seconds to communicate everything I need to know about the video and to capture my interest. And the video better be not have any long pauses or ums and ahs, like cut all that stuff out. Cut out, just get to the meat of what it is that the content is, that's interesting. And yeah, just do it consistently. Do it.
Amazing.
You don't have to do it every day. You don't have to do it every other day. But like I would say at least twice a week is like the minimum.
Great. Well, where can people find you online and on TikTok and everything to find your work?
I don't even know, man. Like I'm just having fun with it. Right now, my handle is like the marketing guy or something. I'm way too busy working with other people to really put any effort into myself. But
Well, I'm enjoying your
um,
content, so I hope there's more to come.
appreciate it. My name's Julius Grut. Maybe I'll just go back to calling myself that in the future.
Well, Julius, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really interesting to talk to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been fun. I'm happy I did this.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
These guys.